Hello everyone, it's DA here. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you are doing fantastic. Today I will be sharing my high level build for solo heroic runs and the one that I use for group legendary runs. It is the same build, so I will be sharing it with you guys today. This build focuses on an all-round combination of high critical damage, high armor damage, and high headshot damage. I will be giving you a breakdown of every single item in the set, the mods, the specialization, the skills, and why I chose each and every one of them. This video might be longer than the usual ones, so please bear with me. When it comes to playing solo anything in Division 2, the first thing that comes to mind is going to be survival and reinforcement. Survival of the fittest is the name of the game, and reinforcement of self is very important as well. Having to depend on your own skills, your enemy knowledge, and the will to survive is something that is at the forefront of every single solo run. Because of these things, I began this particular build from my specialization, then to the skills, then to the weapons, and then to the armor pieces. For this one, I decided to use the survivalist specialization. This one is the best for new players because it is resourceful, not just in its offensive side, but also in its defensive capabilities. This is the only specialization with a weapon that can be significant whenever you're dealing with problematic enemies such as your elites, your named enemies, and your bosses. So this is one of the main reasons why I chose this specialization. This specialization also offers several defensive attributes such as protection from elites, and of course the healing support to group members, which is also another great thing if you decide to go in groups. Another great reason to choose Survivalist is for the Mender Seeker Mine, which is going to be at the headline of this build. Because drones stay afloat all the time above your head, they are at a much higher risk whenever you're hiding behind cover, and this means that your drones can get destroyed really quickly, especially when you're playing high level missions. In heroics, in legendaries, your drones get destroyed the moment they pop up. This is why we're choosing this mine right here. In the second skill slot, I selected a revive hive because you can revive yourself when you are in a solo. And of course, even when you're in a group setting, this allows you to do that by yourself without putting other players at risk. So now that we have the skills covered, let's move on to the weapons and the armor pieces. For the weapons, I am using the M1A and any assault rifle that you can find in the game. The M1A is for your main damage, and the AR is going to be for your health damage or things like dealing with drones or enemy proxies. This is one of the things that you have to keep in mind as well. M1A may be powerful, but whenever enemies get close to you, you want something that is really fast and you can burn them really quickly. I said in my previous video that if a weapon has a very low base damage, then you should often build for crit, and if it has a high base damage, then you can build for damage to armor. We are utilizing something similar to that in this video. Because the M1A has a high base damage, we are given the freedom to build for both crit damage and damage to armor. Before we move to the gear pieces, note that I have preservation on my rifle right here. Preservation is something that I use as a backup plan for whenever I need some armor. So whenever I get a kill, I get some armor in return as well, just in case my skills are on cooldown or I don't have any armor kits left. With that said, let's move to the armor pieces. Please note that if you don't have any of the named versions of these items in this build, you can utilize the regular versions of the same items or a different brand piece. This is your own build, this is your own agent, you can build it in whichever way you want. I am utilizing 3 Providence pieces, 1 Douglas piece, and 1 Overlord piece, and another Petrov piece. On the face mask, I am using Punch Drunk specifically for the headshot damage, but if you don't have Punch Drunk, I would say use Cheska or a Sokolov piece right here. Because this build is curated to give me innate crit chance already, I have the freedom to slot in crit damage mods, which will further increase our damage output. On the chest piece, I have a piece with perfect glass cannon. Now you want to be very careful playing with this one because it is a double-edged sword. You get more damage, but you also take more damage. Now you're probably asking why not just use focus or perfect focus. It is true that focus gives you more damage without the risk that comes with glass cannon. However, focus requires 8 times scope to work, and when you are playing in a solo situation, tunnel vision is going to be your worst enemy, and that is why I ended up settling on glass cannon. And in a similar fashion, I have another 11-point crit damage mod on it. On the holster, we have a similar thing, but I decided to calibrate crit chance into this one since we already have crit damage on it. On my backpack, I have Vigilance Talent on it, but this is my best roll that I have in my arsenal, so just bear with me on this one. Now in this situation, even if your Providence piece doesn't come with perfect Vigilance, you can roll on Vigilance on it, which is also going to be a really good option. And in the same fashion, I have another crit damage mod on it to build up that damage that we're trying to stack. On the hands, I have Contractor Gloves for the 8% damage to armor, combined with the one that I have on my rifle, and we can get more than 10%, just like the old times. Finally, on the knees, we have the Fox's Prayers, which can also be replaced with a regular Overlord piece with some crit stats rolled into it. Remember, your specialization and your skills are very important, so keep that in mind. With that said, thanks for watching, hope you find this informative. I'll see you in the next one.